All right, welcome into A to Z Sports Primetime Thursday night edition. Hope everybody's having a great week, ready to wrap things up for the primetime week at the very least. Talking a little more Titans and Colts. We got Thursday night football on the television screen. Dolphins trailing the Bengals right now in Cincinnati 7-3 to drop back to pass and incomplete on 3rd and 4. So after an interception, but a flag on the play. Seems like the Dolphins will keep things moving. You're not here for the play-by-play, though. You are here to talk about this Sunday's game. We'll get to Thursday night football later on, and we'll do a weekend bounce back because that's what we do on Thursday night. A lot of good stuff to get to, and happy to have you guys in for this evening's broadcast. Before we get started, need you guys to share this show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, wherever it is that you are spending time with us tonight. If you're on Twitter, please retweet the show. It's in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. I'll do that myself right now. If you are on Facebook Live, like Dwayne Holiday or Robert Lahue, you can share now to public. That's in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, and your Facebook friends can join the party. If you are on YouTube or Twitch, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you throw a like on the video, and we would be grateful for you doing so. And as more of you start to trickle in, as the second quarter starts to wind down, we'll expect more people to join us. We can go ahead and get this show off and rolling. Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time on a Thursday night from the Superbook Sports Studios. I'm your host, Buck Rising. I'm proud, as always, to be presented to you by our friends at Two Rivers Ford. Two Rivers Ford is the best place to go for the best car buying experience in the state of Tennessee. You can get $500 bonus cash and a great locked-in interest rate, which I'll tell you more about at tworiversford.com. The Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage. You get the intel edge you need to succeed with the official real estate agent of the Nashville Predators, who, by the way, are playing preseason hockey tonight. GaryAshton.com for more information. Superbook Sports. You can bet Thursday night football, MLB, college football, whatever you desire in their clean and easy-to-use app. They'll match your first bet up to $1,000, whether it wins or loses. Superbook.com for terms and conditions. TrueMav Fitness, a new way to work out. I've got a 6 a.m. TrueMav class. Maybe I'll see you in there because you can get your first workout free as a Middle Tennessee resident. TrueMavFitness.com for memberships and more information. So, Titans and Colts. Interesting game. We've talked about the matchup from a variety of different angles. But the one thing that we have not discussed is one player who is set to make his season debut on Sunday when Tennessee travels north for their first AFC South divisional game. That player is Darius Leonard, who through these first 3 weeks, he's been working through a back situation, had offseason surgery. It's cost him a significant amount of time. He is said to have practiced as a full participant the last 2 days. In fact, looking at the injury report, full participation today and yesterday for Shaquille, a.k.a. Darius Leonard. The injury report for both the Titans and the Colts is pretty interesting. There were some new additions as DMPs today that are not ideal if you're somebody who's looking for a viable way to run the football. I'll get to more of that later on. But the X factor for the Colts so far, it's not been anything offensively. It's not been Jonathan Taylor. Their defense has really been the strong suit. So I want to start there with your Two Rivers Ford take on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, wherever it is that you are spending your time with us, and ask you this question. Who is the biggest X factor in this game on Sunday? Either side, Titans or Colts. Who do you believe has the ability to kind of impact this thing? We'll go through it together. You'll hear from a couple of different people who are going to be involved with this game. But of course, the Two Rivers Ford take is presented by Two Rivers Ford. Two Rivers Ford, where Middle Tennesseans have gone since 1983. That's nearly 40 years, coming up on 40 years, as a matter of fact, for honesty and integrity and great low prices. They will give you a 60-month 2.9% APR locked-in rate for qualified buyers if you custom order a 2023 model year Ford at Two Rivers Ford. On top of that, they'll give you $500 bonus cash when you custom order a Ford, Bronco Sport, Escape, Explorer, Mustang, F-150, Ranger. So many great options for you with quality American-made Ford vehicles at the best dealership around. Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com. So, who is the X factor in this game? For Karen O'Keefe, she says Jonathan Taylor. Chris Frazier believes it's going to be Bud Dupree. For Bud, he was limited in his participation today after being full go on Wednesday. I'll just kind of run through the injury report. Two new additions, Nate Davis, DMP, and Cody Hollister, DMP, with a knee and a back, respectively. Bud went from full to limited. Kyle Phillips continues to be limited. Christian Fulton went from limited to full, dealing with a knee injury. Ugo did not practice with an ankle issue. Ola Adeni continues to be limited as he works through his neck situation. No practice for Zach Cunningham or Amani Hooker, and Traylon Burks was full go. So that's what the Titans injury report looks like right now. For the Colts, Stephon Gilmore, Ryan Kelly, Yannick Ngakoue, and Jonathan Taylor, who all did not practice Wednesday, were full participants on Thursday. DeForest Buckner and Julian Blackmon, however, DMP for the Colts the last 2 days. You know what a big difference DeForest Buckner would make, and that is a situation, and that situation is something that can pop up. I think that the Titans in this game, it's going to be pretty interesting because the Colts defense has been nasty, even without Shaq Leonard. But certainly he hopes to make his season debut and make an impact when the Titans come to town.
Yeah, I'm better. Each week has been, better each and every week. And I'm going to say this because I've seen it all on social media. If I'm ready to go, I'm going to play. Everybody know me. I mean, I went out there last year with one ankle. I love this game. I love this game with all my heart, and I do anything to play this game, for 100 years. So there's no such thing as me standing on the sideline just because of me. So if I feel like I can play to the ability that I know I can play and help this team win, I'm going to be out there. But if I think that my ability is putting the team in trouble, I got to respect my decision to say, okay, Zaire's playing the whole lot faster. This defense will be better with me standing on the sideline. It's just me got to look myself in the mirror, tell the coaches that. But I'm just going to do everything in my will to, be on that field each and every week. And when that time's coming, I'm ready to rock and roll.
So that's Shaq Leonard meeting with the Indy media, full go the last 2 days and hopeful to make his season debut on Sunday. A to Z Sports Primetime from the Superbook Sports Studios. They'll match your first bet up to $1,000. Terms and conditions at superbook.com. So Shaq Leonard, to me, looks like the X factor because he's not something that anybody's had to account for so far through these first couple of games. Their run defense has been stout. They're going to play with 4 down defensive linemen. They don't really bring a lot of pressure, so it's not like you're expecting to see additional blitzers from the Colts in that defense that Gus Bradley is coaching this year. If DeForest Buckner ends up being out, that really, really is an advantage Titans in a major way. You saw what a significant difference it made for the Titans, who struggled early on in the 2020 season, if you'll remember, against the Colts. Now, there were different reasons. There was a turnover on a punt block on that Thursday night football game where Phillip Rivers came to Nashville. There was but anyway, DeForest Buckner and I believe Danico Autry, both in that game, had COVID or did not play in that game because of COVID. And so the Colts were not able to do anything to stop Derrick Henry in that game. Now, they have done well to kind of fortify their front without Danico Autry, but Buckner is such a fantastic player on the interior that it would really, really be a significant loss. We'll continue to monitor the situation. I imagine we'll find out tomorrow if he's in or out, as these things typically do. Howard G says Buckner was a rest day playing Sunday. Wednesdays makes sense that way, but 2 in a row makes it suspect. Now, I'm not saying that I know for sure that he's in. I'm not saying that I know for sure that he's out, but it is significant that 2 straight DNPs, they would like to get him on the field to get some work, to get some just mental reps, if nothing else. So to have him out for both days, That's not insignificant. Although, like you said, nothing official determined right now. Chris Frazier says they really run every play. Talking about the Colts or the Titans, Chris, I'm not sure. Although that's, the same could be said of both. Ryan Field says, have they tried Farley at safety since Hooker has been a no-go? Yes, I know this is not Madden. No, they have not tried Caleb Farley at safety. I do not anticipate a position change coming for the former Titans first-round pick. Derek R. says Shaq Leonard has PTSD from the last time he met the King. Shaq Leonard, I think his line from the top 100 where they're talking about Derrick Henry was funny because he's saying, listen, you play this guy twice a year, just trying to not end up on a highlight reel because he's going to get you at some point. That's just how they go. If Buckner is out, they're going to run every play, says Chris Frazier of the Titans. Yeah, I mean, that would absolutely make sense. It's time to change the narrative, boys and girls. Let's take care of business. But, I mean, what is the narrative? Like, Corey, what is this perceived or imagined slight that you're talking about with the Colts? You've won 3 straight at Lucas Oil. Like, I'm so sick of the Titans players, of the coaching staff, of the fan base, with trying to lean into this underdog mentality that whatever, man. Like if it gets you going, that's fine. If that's where you get your juice from, that's fine. I think it's lame. You're the number 1 overall seed in the AFC last year. Like at some point, learn how to handle success. Act like you've been there before. You've been able to beat the Colts. Carry yourself as if you belong in this game. Corey D. Jackson says the outside narrative. I mean, the outside narrative is not that deep around the Colts this right now either. They look like shit. What are you talking about? I don't care about this perceived or imagined underdog nonsense that continues to perpetuate everything around the Titans year in and year out. Like, I know what Kevin Byard's trying to say when he talks about before the Bills game, we'd prefer to be the ones chasing as opposed to being the ones who are getting chased. But also, I still think it's such a loser mentality. And at some point, I would ask you and everybody else involved with your organization to just start carrying yourself like you belong in these conversations, as opposed to nobody believes in us. Oh, the Titans, perpetual underdogs, blah, 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 blah. Bleh. I don't care about that. It's been enough. It's been 7 years of this shit. Fine. Learn how to win, for God's sakes, or learn how to handle winning or carry yourselves like winners. Drives me nuts. All right, let's talk about who you got in this Thursday night football game. Bengals and Dolphins in Cincinnati right now, 6-7 in favor of the Bengals at this point. We will go through who you got together. We'll take a look at, that's a nasty fall by Tua that just drew a flag on number 58. We'll keep an eye on that as that continues to progress, but let me know who you have in Thursday Night Football. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. While you do that, I'll tell you that you need to go to GaryAshton.com for the intel edge you need to succeed. The Ashton team will put you in a position to succeed, just as they have me, John Robinson, John Hines of the Nashville Predators. So many people across Middle Tennessee have gotten their dream address without the stress because of the information that Gary and his team have to offer. That intel edge helps you sell your home without any showings or staging. It helps you find your next home and sell your current one while the real estate market is still red hot. It helps you win the buyer battle and cash in on your home equity now. GaryAshton.com, the best in the business, the official real estate agent of the Nashville Predators and A to Z Sports Primetime, and the radio show that I do here in Middle Tennessee. Gary Ashton is the place that you go. So, who you got on Thursday Night Football? Dolphins or Bengals? Tua just got power bombed on that back. It looks like, his hands just locked up. Oh my God, that's scary. 58 again. No, 68 again. Got in there and just whipped Tua around hard. His fingers man, that's scary. He's down on the field and the training staff is out there after dealing with a considerable back injury at this point. That's a scary scene. Well, this certainly may impact the decision made by a lot of you. Oof. Right on his shoulder and his arms just lock up. It doesn't look like he's able to move we'll keep an eye on the situation. It just went to commercial break. Scary stuff in the Thursday night football game. Was going to say Dolphins, but Tua is down right now, says Matt S. Yeah, that's not an ideal circumstance. I think that the Dolphins are pretty interesting. And Tua, I mean, the difference between that offense with Teddy Bridgewater, who's their backup, and with Tua is significant, which lets me know that Tua is at least above average in the sense that he is capable of operating an offense that's specifically tailored to help him succeed. I don't expect them to have the same kind of success because now Bridgewater's going to have to play. But, again, had you asked me not 5 seconds ago, I would have said the Dolphins because we had a whole video package prepared.
Wow, we need more of these interviews, guys. I love these interviews. Oh, my gosh. Oh, you're so much fun. I love to watch you when you don't run. You throw the ball so very far, farther than my car. Love to see you playing out there so happily. Can't wait to see you on the desk tomorrow night after victory over Joey Biden. Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Do it. Thank you, sir. Thanks, boss. Appreciate it.
So that's Ryan Fitzpatrick and Tua Tagovailoa in a Thursday night football pregame interview. I think that the Dolphins are one of the most interesting teams in football this year. But again, Tua, it so much hinges on that quarterback situation. Even as the quarterback situation is viewed as less than across the league, Mike McDaniel certainly can make a lot happen. Tua is still down on the field right now as Thursday night football has just come back from commercial break. They are starting to clear Bengals players away from the scene, move Dolphins players off the field as well. Everybody taking a knee. It's kind of eerily reminiscent of the Bills and Titans on Monday Night Football, where the corner for the Bills, Dane, I believe his last name, Dane something. Forgive me, I don't remember Dane's last name, but he was taken off the field in an ambulance dealing with a neck injury where he just got snapped backwards. This looks like Tua dealing with some kind of situation that's caused his hands certainly to lock up. I don't know if they've tried to move him. Yeah, they're moving him onto the stretcher right now. He looks to be fairly immobilized. This is really horrifying stuff. Dane Jackson, thank you, producer Reed. So there is the stretcher for Thursday night football. Game picks don't seem to really matter that much right now, but as the only AFC undefeated, there are going to be a lot of eyes on the Dolphins. And as the AFC defending AFC champions, the Bengals are certainly been under a lot of scrutiny too, getting off the schneid last week, as did the Titans with their first win of the season over the New York Jets. A to Z Sports Prime Time from the Superbook Sports Studios. Superbook Sports is where you go to wager on all the action, football or otherwise, this season. They will put you in position to succeed. They'll match your first bet up to $1,000, whether it wins or loses. The fine folks at Superbook Sports allow you the opportunity to take the fight to Vegas with the best team of odds makers behind the table at the Superbook in Las Vegas. Terms and conditions, go to superbook.com. Gambling problem, call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. So a really scary moment in Cincinnati, and we hope that Tua Tagovailoa is able to, we hope that it is not anything significant, although anytime you see that, especially the dude dealing with a back injury and playing through this game, your mind starts to go to dark places in the NFL. But we'll see what happens with the remainder of this game, and again, hopefully Tua can recover in the best possible fashion. So as you look at the AFC standings right now, there's a lot to kind of muddle through, right? We're now starting to get, the Colts have played a considerable amount of divisional games so far already. They have already played the Texans, they have already played the Jags, and they will now play the Titans only 4 weeks in. This is the first AFC South game for the Tennessee Titans. And as we look at the schedule, in particular, the Titans AFC South games are kind of backloaded in a way that the Colts really don't get that opportunity. Yes, the Titans and Colts do play twice this month. That series will be done on October 23rd when the Colts travel to Nashville. The Titans' next game after that will be on the road at the Texans. A pretty tough stretch there at Chiefs, hosting the Broncos on a short week, or rather at Chiefs on Sunday Night Football, hosting the Broncos, and then the Packers on a short week for a Thursday night game in Green Bay. The Bengals also on the schedule in the month of November before the team travels to Philadelphia to start the month of December. So the AFC South game is pretty stacked in favor of the Titans versus the Colts right now. The Colts have a lot more divisional games early on in their schedule. Dolphins players right now gathered at midfield, and there looks to be applause from the Cincinnati crowd. I don't have the volume on my TV in the office, but it looks like Tua has some control of his extremities. They're still at this point trying to get him safely off the field and ensure that he is going to be able to get to where he needs to. They have not at this point brought the ambulance out. They're just wheeling him off at this point. So, I don't want to make any assumptions, but I would think that would be a more positive sign than should they have to bring the ambulance out in that situation. So we'll see how these go. Can they please stop showing his hands? Those aren't supposed to look like. I really do hate when they replay injuries over and over and over again like that, especially God knows what, his family. I think he's married. It's just really hard to watch that kind of stuff. Everybody looks to be pretty shook up right now, but Teddy Bridgewater will go in, and we'll see how this goes. Who needs to bounce back in sports this weekend? Let me know on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. It's the weekend bounce back that we do at the end of every Thursday show. And that's how we do it. Ryan Fields says the Titans are going to sweep the division again. Well, they didn't sweep the division. They lost to the Texans. They swept the Jags and the Colts, so that was pretty good. But I don't think they're sweeping anybody this year, Colts, Texans, or Jags. I think that all three of those teams are good enough to at least get one game on the Titans, at least the current iteration of the Titans. We'll see how they continue to how they continue to progress if they do so. So 5-1 last year in the division, but I've talked about this a million times. I don't give a shit about what happened last year, nor should you. This is 2022. 2021 has zero significance on the outcome of these particular games, and this is a much better AFC South, even if the AFC South is still very stinky as a division. I really like the Jags, what they're doing. I think that defense is legit. I really like the Colts defense, even if I find Matt Ryan to be thoroughly underwhelming. I really like what Ryan Tannehill's doing right now, but can they continue to keep him protected the way that they have so far? I think that there's a lot of this, and then the Texans are kind of a mess right now. Did the Texans finally get a win on the season, or are they still the only winless team in the AFC South? I know, 0-2-1 are the Texans right now. So the Texans just appear to be objectively bad. But we'll see. An objectively bad Texans team beat the Titans at home last year because injuries and all manner of other miscommunications that caused 4 interceptions by Ryan Tannehill. We'll see what happens. Matt S. says the Titans' second half offense needs to bounce back. I'll tell you where specifically they need to bounce back right after I remind you that True Math Fitness is where you go. True Math Fitness, I've got my 6 a.m. class tomorrow. If you are interested in taking your first class is free as a Middle Tennessee resident at True Math Fitness. Tomorrow in particular, for those of you who are looking for a specific kind of workout, the workout for tomorrow is a lower body focus with a lower body workout with a focus on the glutes and the hamstrings. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a HIIT style workout, 45 minutes of the classes, but they're designed for every level of fitness to make sure that you can succeed and reach your fitness goals. TrueMathFitness.com. They've got all kinds of different membership offers, all kinds of different class packages, open gym concepts, and personal training if that's more to your speed. TrueMathFitness.com, or book your class today in the Mind Body app. So, who needs to bounce back in sports this week? Chris Frazier says Treylon Burks needs to. I thought Treylon Burks is fine. I just think Ryan Tannehill missed him on 2 throws, one the 4th and 3, and another one on 3rd down that needed to keep a drive alive or he didn't miss him on the 3rd down that he just didn't look at Treylon Burks, who was running wide open. So on the 4th and 3, Tannehill got hit, so I'm not really putting that on Tannehill as much as the protection. I think Traylon Burks is fine. I don't think there's necessarily a bounce back that's needed at this point. Caleb Farley, says Chris Frazier. That's a much better one at this point. Caleb Farley, I still don't think he starts at outside corner on Sunday. So Christian Fulton, Roger McCreary, we'll see what happens with Ugo Amadi, but I think at this point you may get the Terrence Mitchell experience yet again, but we will see if any positive developments have been made so far. The NFL says Tua just stubbed his big toe. I think that's not. The NFL concussion protocol sure thinks that Tua just stubbed his big toe last week when he got, slammed on his back and then got up wobbly without control of himself. Not an ideal situation. But the person who needs to bounce back, I think, is the whichever New England Patriots media person asked Bill Belichick about injuries, because in the same way that we get no answers from Vrabel, Bill Belichick not interested in playing doctor at all.
Day by day, it's getting better. See how it goes. Day by day.
Does he have a high ankle sprain?
Day by day. What do I look like? A doctor, an orthopedic surgeon? I don't know. Talk to the medical experts.
What do the medical experts on staff say?
Day by day. We'll evaluate him. What difference does it make to me? What do you think I'm going to read the MRI? That's not my job. So.
But it's theirs, and they talk to you about it, right?
Yeah, it's day by day. It's getting better day by day. We'll see. See how it is tomorrow. It's a lot better than it was yesterday. See what it is.
Bill Belichick every time, but yeah, he's not interested in playing doctor day by day is how these things go. It's certainly much like the Tennessee Titans experience when it comes to injuries with Mike Vrabel, but a conversation for another day. That's going to do it for us this week on the Primetime Show. We appreciate you guys hanging out. Tomorrow on the radio show, it's jam-packed and loaded with a lot of X's and O's football talk. Rick Venturi of the Colts. He's the Colts version of Coach Dave McGinnis for the Colts Radio Network. Coach Venturi is exceptional. You're really going to enjoy his insights and analysis. That's at 10:20. An hour later, Coach Dave McGinnis of Titans Radio will break down the Titans side of things, and I'm certain we'll talk about the Thursday night football game with Mac as well. Nikki Lattarulo of News Channel 4 will come in studio, and we'll discuss the things that they are going to go through on their News Channel 4 pregame, or WSMV Channel 4 pregame show. So it'll be a lot of Titans and Colts conversation and an interesting college football weekend with Alabama traveling to Arkansas before, in a couple of weeks, they take on Tennessee at home. Derek R says, nobody wants to talk to your Colts friends, Buck. FTC, which of course means F the Colts. Yeah, but Rick Venturi is really, really good. So I don't care what you think of that particular situation. He's really smart. He knows football. He just happens to work for the Colts Radio Network. So the rest of you got to eat it, because it's going to be a really good conversation. And if not, you can listen to Coach Mack at 11:20 and quit being babies about it. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time on Sunday night from Lucas Oil Stadium, where we'll do the primetime show. Remember that Sunday night primetime will be about an hour earlier because of the Eastern time. So we will expect to be around 7 p.m. after the Colts and the Titans from Lucas Oil. It'll be 8 p.m. Eastern. That way I don't have to do the show from 9 to 10 Eastern, which ideally I would like to avoid. So I appreciate you guys working with us on that particular schedule. Have a great rest of your evening. Have a great weekend. If I don't talk to you on the radio show, I'll see you Sunday for pregame on Titans Radio. And if not, Sunday night on A to Z Sports Primetime.
All right, we haven't scored a point since I came in here. I am gone, guys.
What?
That's it?
We got a couple more questions. No, that's it?
Peace out by the GM.